Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Ready to Love Season 6 Episode 4. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, all the ladies are gathering in the ladies' lounge. Looney is doing her model walk to the lounge for the first time. And so Tommy tells them that it's their week. You know, they get rid of the men and whatnot. He's telling them that he's throwing an all-white party. And baby, we love a white party, don't we? We're gonna put that melanin in some white if we don't do nothing else. So he tells them that it's a chance to get to know the men a little bit better. Looney is ready to get out there, but she was like, you know what? Let me see what's going to go on, because y'all know that Tommy loves to throw us a curveball. They pan over to Randall and Kayla, and they go out on a date. I like the switch up confessional look, Kayla. Okay. I love the look. So Randall said, you know, he wants to know who she is on a deeper level because they've never got to talk face to face. Randall, we're just starting the dates. You said the same thing with Trinika last week. Randall, I'm watching you. Okay? I'm watching you. Child, he feeding her these big bites of steak. Sir, you got to break that steak down, honey, especially if it's well done. That ain't sexy, choking on steak chunks. I was like, oh, he gonna choke the hell out of Kayla, child. But she took it like a champ, honey. She took that steak, child. So they started talking about, you know, kids, and he said that he wants multiple kids. And honey, she looking like, I might can give you 1, 2 tops. But he's talking about 5, 6, 7, and 8. And she was like, honey, that sound like an 8 count. Ain't gonna be that many children coming up out of here. Well, I'm just saying. They had a quick little date. It seemed like things were going in the right direction. So he walks her out. She seemed to like him. And I mean, I guess it was a cute little date. I did like the fact that they went all the way out to the parking lot with it. I said, okay, Miami, getting some new angles, honey. Walking out to the parking lot, getting a little parking lot action and whatnot. In the next scene, Jamala goes for a date with Justice. Child, this is where it gets to be a fool. Okay, y'all come closer. Jamala goes for a date with Justice to see if he's really ready to love. So he was like, yeah, she's very beautiful and comes with a great sexual energy. Huh, that's all he wants is sex. So as they sit down to speak, she's like, so what makes you want to date a woman? Like, what makes you say, yeah, I want to take her out? He gonna say, I don't do things like the norm. You know, I'm not going to do things to romance you or spend a ton of money to find out if I like you. Ma'am, please take all of that goodness that you got packaged into that dress and move on to the next man. He needs to be eliminated this week, honey. He is full of himself, but y'all, it gets worse. Just listen. So she wanted to know how she would know if he likes her. She was like, so how am I supposed to know if you like me or not? He said, you know, we can go to the beach. Okay, beach bum. He's ready to waste your time with a bunch of grand rising text. No, don't nobody got time for that. See, this is the reason why we need the show Ready to Love, so we can find men that are actually ready to love, not ready to waste time. He should be on, what's that show that used to come on? He should be on Hell Date. That's what he should be on. Moving forward. So as they're talking, he's like, yeah, I'm not about to chase no woman. Like, if y'all don't want me and y'all don't pick me because I don't do what y'all want, then that's on y'all, because I'm not here to play with y'all. Sir, then why are you here? She's like, you know, I just want to know that my man is feeling me just as much as I'm feeling him. He's like, you gonna come on my energy. I'm the king. Like, I will come to you, but I'm busy taking care of the kingdom. Okay. Child, this right here is a fool. He had to be casted for controversy because it's the ignorance for me. He wants to be chased. He's very cocky. And I just don't really see what the women saw in him to begin with. Like, I don't even know why he's on this show. In the next scene, the singles meet for this party Tommy is throwing. So Brandy in the confessional, she was like, yeah, it's an extravaganza. Brandy is so cute to me. So the games are in the beginning of the day and the all-white party is later on that evening. Brandy, I hope you don't waste all of your time on Mike. Okay, because I see you putting all your eggs in one basket. It could get you eliminated later if you're too honed in on one person. But, I mean, to be honest, it seems like everybody has latched on to somebody except Randall, honey. Randall out here dating them all, okay? Moving forward. So they see Tommy coming in on his boat with the missus. Baby, she got him out of that turtleneck. I'm so happy he ain't sweating, child. Of course, he's being Tommy, telling him, I brought the missus with me. 21 years. Y'all want to know how to get the ring? I'm going to show y'all how to get the rock. Sir, just calm down, honey. Just calm down. Tommy, and don't get me started on how you arrived at this union, okay? And y'all ain't fooling me and don't think I forgot. Moving forward. So everybody's mingling and whatnot. Randall and Jamala, they go over to the side. Randall might be a little sneaky one. I'm watching him. So he's telling her that she's perfect. Basically, I feel like he running game. And she's like, you laying it on thick, ain't you, Rah-Rah? Okay, Rah-Rah. Oh, child, I don't like that name. I like Jamala. She's one of my favorite women on the show. I like Kayla as well. And contrary to popular belief, I like Kadian. I know the people don't like Kadian, but I don't see anything wrong with her. She's in her lane. And I mean, I don't understand what the problem is. But, you know, a lot of people don't like her. But I like Jamala. I just want Jamala to keep her antennas up. Okay? Don't be sorry, Jamala. Be careful, honey. You got to keep your antennas up. So she said that in her confessional that he's made his feelings known from the beginning and it's something they can build a foundation with. Well, child, he building foundations with a lot of people. But that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. I think out of all of them, though, because he likes Trinika, Jamala, and Kayla, I think he's going to end up with Jamala if they make it to the end. So they're playing Django over on the other side, and one of the tasks was for you to like give the person that you're interested in a lap dance or something like that. So Brandy goes over and gives Mike a little show. Brandy, you putting too much stank on it when it comes to Mike. I don't want this for you. I don't know why, you just seem so sweet and I just really don't want this for you. Over on the other side, Charisse goes over to speak with Zoe. She was like, oh my God, I've been looking for you. And I have to say this, Charisse was more likable this episode. She didn't get on my nervous system as much as she has the past few episodes. But I still feel like nobody that she should be matched with is here. So anyway, Charisse said in the confessional that Zoe isn't somebody that's typically her type. He seems a bit boring. But she's trying to give everybody a chance. And I do like the fact that she's being open to men that she wouldn't otherwise date. Because sometimes when you do that and you cast your net, you'll find out that maybe you should have been liking this type all the time. But I ain't gonna lie to you. Zoe does give me sleepy time tea, honey. He gives me chamomile. And he never seems interested in anyone or anything. He just seems like she said boring. I gotta call a spade a spade. So they start talking, right? Now, y'all get this. She asked him if he's ever been married. He was like, whoo, that's a story. Okay, the way you starting out, I can already tell it's about to be some bullshit, but let's hear it. He said that he was with this woman for about 7 years and she kept pressuring him to be married, right? So what did he do? He went ahead and gave her a ring. So Charisse was like, well, why did you give her the ring if you didn't really want to marry her? Like, I feel like you weren't being sincere. You weren't keeping it real. And he said that he felt pressured. He said, but then the next day I took the ring back. Sir, what in the 24-hour fiance are you doing? You wasted 7 years of this woman's time for an overnight proposal? Baby, Zoe working faster than Amazon Prime. Child, not a 24-hour proposal, y'all. These cast of men. Like, I don't even know what to say besides these cast of men. So he said, ultimately I want to be married. And in her confessional, she said, he made an impression on me because he was open, but I don't want somebody lying to me and pretending like they like me when they really don't. Girl, don't waste no time on Zoe. Zoe, you got to go. Moving forward. So everyone is still mingling, playing games, and Swayze doing his push-ups yet again over there with Flower Child. So they pan over to some of the other singles inside, and Charisse is telling Mike that he hurt her feelings. He's like, I ain't had no idea I hurt your feelings. Well, ma'am, you calling his kids baggage probably hurt his feelings as well, but let's get into it. So she was like, yeah, it got really intense, and, I felt hurt because I thought your approach was aggressive. Ma'am, your approach was aggressive as well. Both of y'all are giving the aggression. You called his kids baggage. I'm like, girl, what? So they're talking, and Mike did apologize to her. He said, if I said anything that offended you, I did not mean to. I don't want you to feel bad. So I apologize. And in the confessional, he said if he feels like he's hurt anyone, he has no problem apologizing about it. And they hugged it out. But at the end of the day, both of y'all should have apologized to each other because it was a back and forth. And Charisse, you have to be able to articulate your thoughts a little bit better. But the fact that the two of you, talked it out and hugged it out, it's all good. Over on the other side, Mike, Kadian, and Jamala, they're sitting at the table, right? And so Jamala is like, I feel like Sharice just wanted to be heard. She wanted to know that you heard her, and you did. And the fact that you apologized, that says a lot about your character. And child, I guess. I'm not too sold on Mike still. So Katie was like, yeah, I'm going to take it there. Okay, hold on a second. As a black man, you have to be careful how you interact with people because, you know, then something small turns into something big and it denounces your character. Now, I thought that was a very wise thing to tell him because you arguing back and forth with a woman, that's making you look some kind of way. And I feel like that's what she was trying to tell him. So sitting at the table as well is Flower Child, aka Shakira. So baby, she gets up. She was like, I don't want to be involved in no mess. And so Katie is like, no, it's a difference. And she's like, I feel like Shakira will take it differently as well, given her circumstances. So in the confessional, Shakira is like, Katie brought up my situation in front of a guy. And I feel like by bringing that up and bringing up my trauma, she stole the right for me to share my story. Shakira, listen to me, honey. I feel like you have shared your story with almost everyone. And I was so confused on what had just happened. Like, I didn't feel like she said anything wrong. She's just saying you would have taken it the same way that Mike did because she called his children baggage. And you have a problem with people accepting you being a single mom. So that's all she was trying to say. I was totally confused on that, honey. Maybe y'all can explain it down in the comment section, but I don't know if it was the flower that's confusing her or what's happening. But for me, I did not take that in a negative way. And you've already told other people about your trauma. So I understand that it's not her place to tell her business. But she really didn't tell anything. She just said, I feel like given her circumstances, she would take it differently as well. She didn't say what circumstances. Like, girl, anywho, moving forward. In the next scene, Kayla is over there with Randall, telling him that she saw him over there with Jamala. She was like, I saw you over there with Jamala. And her ass was all on you. He was like, what? What are you talking about? Kayla, it's giving Denise. Okay, it's giving Denise and Calfani. Calm down, ma'am. Calm down. So in the confessional, he's like, I just can't explain it. You know, it's like a love triangle. Like I like 3 women or whatever. And it's a lot of tension. Now I'm just in a tough situation. Randall is loving all this attention. Again, I'm not sure of the draw that they have to Randall. He is just soaking up all this attention and probably don't plan on settling down with either one of them. I don't trust it. I don't trust it as far as I can throw it, honey. I just don't trust it. So Tommy and Miss Jackie, they reemerge and they tell them that they will be making their rounds to find out what man will be going home. So it's time for the white party. Everybody looking great. Women looking snizzatched. Everybody looking clean and pristine. I see some matching Shein dresses in the mix. Shoes Gucci, dress Shein. So I see some Shein dresses. And LJ and Looney, they're talking about the date that he would take her on. So they over off to the side. Baby, he talking about helicopter rides around the island, jet skiing, and at night it gets real romantic. Justice. This is how a woman likes to be courted. Okay, even if he lying, child. This is how we like to be courted. So Looney is telling us that she feels like, you know, they've had a connection and a vibe from the start. And she's really liking LJ. And I mean, he seems nice. I mean, he's not my cup of tea aesthetically, but he does seem very nice. And I hope he's being sincere because I think Looney really does like him. Now, I don't know if she really does like him because, you know, he's the first person that she went out on a date with. But I do think that when it comes to her, he likes her a lot because he was checking on her, you know, when she was down with the beer virus and whatnot and had to quarantine. So it could potentially be a match. Over on the other side, Katie and Swayze, they're still in a little alone time. And she was like, you know, at the mixer, he was not someone that I was looking at, but we have great conversation. We've really been connecting and we just been vibing. And child, they kissing and whatnot. Okay. So Swayze was like, you know I'm supposed to open up, but I'd rather just gravitate to Kadian because I don't feel like I should have to run around with all the other women. And I know that may cost me in the end, but I just rather do that. Well, child, don't tell Randall. Because baby Randall is making his rounds, honey. And y'all might as well go on and let me sing the theme song for y'all since neither one of y'all have any other prospects. Don't nobody else like Kadian and don't nobody else like you. So here we go. So it took me some time to get to the place that you wanted me to be. Child, y'all ready to love? Moving forward. So Tommy and his wife come out and he introduces Zoe and Sharice. He's like, yeah, this is Zoe, one of my frat brothers. Why does Tommy have a frat brother on every season? It never fails. From season 1 until season 6, Tommy is going to have a bald, bearded, light-skinned frat brother on every single season. Okay? Tommy, casting, production, Will Packer, I'm watching you, honey, and you ain't fooling me. Moving forward. So Miss Jackie sits down with them, and she's like, do y'all have any questions for me? And so Sharice was like, what's the secret? And girl, long suffering, but let's see what she has to say. So she was like, we were just both ready. So Zoe was like, well, how do y'all face adversity? She was like, we just fuss it out, because at the end of the day, we already decided that there will be no divorce. Well, girl, as long as it took him, honey, I know it ain't going to be no divorce. Honey, had me using all my fine years over here chasing around nephew Tommy and his turtleneck. If we're going to be together, we're going to be together. And that's just that on that. Over on the other side, LJ is talking to Shakira, a.k.a. Flower Child, and he's complimenting her, right? And she's like, yeah, I meant to tell you, you need to button up that shirt because you giving away all your everything to everybody. He's like, no, I'm not. Ma'am, I think you have him confused with Randall. So she was saying in her confessional, like, he's a ladies' man, and I feel like he's a bit too charming. After a while, that gets old. So then she's like, you only called me one time. He said, I called you and you didn't answer. She's like, yeah, and I called you back. Why are you always talking about these phone calls? If they want to call you, they will. If they want to talk to you, they will. If they want to text you, they will. You don't have to keep talking to them about your phone calls and your phone numbers and all of that. You don't have to do that. Flower Child has a bit of insecurity. And she also has a little bit of snapped in her. And I see right through that flower. And she's not fooling me. I can see it in her because she's like on edge really quickly. Like the littlest thing kind of sets her off. And she tries to keep herself composed. But yeah, I can see something else in her. So she's telling him that, she's like, I'm not needy, but I do require attention. She's like, I'm not going to nag you, but I will, get up and walk away. Ma'am, I don't see your person here. I don't think any of the men are really feeling her outside of Samson. And I feel like you're coming in a little bit too hot right now. I think Shakira has a lot to work through and she may need to heal first. Now, I'm no therapist, honey, so I'm not diagnosing her and whatnot. But given how this episode progressed, and her feelings every time she sat down with anyone, I just think it's time for her to just work on her first and then jump into the dating scene. So the party is still underway. Everyone is dancing, having a good time. And Kayla is talking to Mike. So they're talking about kids, his kids, as a matter of fact. And he told her he had an 11-year-old or a 10-year-old. It was one of them. And Miss Jackie comes over to ask if they're feeling each other. And he was like, we getting to know each other. I'm getting to know her more and more each day. And so she's telling him that they have to look at all facets of a person, not just what they look like aesthetically. You have to really get to know them. So she was like, so what do y'all think about the age difference? Like, is that a problem? And Kayla's like, no, because this is my preferred age. He said, oh, well, it ain't mine, but I mean, I'll tolerate it. See, and this is why Mike is a no for me. Even though he was laughing, he was being for real. It was one of those, I'm just serious. He was for real, okay? Not tolerate. Anywho. And baby Miss Jackie said, and on that note, I'm out. And baby Miss Jackie put up that church finger. She said, oh, okay. Well, good luck finding love with each other or somebody else. Y'all gotta go. Over on the other side, Samson is over there talking to Sharice, right? About him wanting a woman that has a story. Somebody that knows what struggle is really like. And you typically find that with women of color. You mean black women? Sir, I don't want to be chosen based on being a black woman that has struggled. I didn't like that statement. Now, I don't know if I'm all alone in this, but I didn't like him saying he wanted a woman that would struggle. Like, absolutely not. So then she gonna say, yeah, I really appreciate that because in Miami, a lot of women of color get overlooked. He's like, really? That's because you may be intimidating. She's like, see, that's it. I'm glad you like my strength. No. This whole conversation is a no for me. Why is it that the black woman is either drenched in struggle, aggressive, or intimidating? No thanks. And I do not want you to choose me because you think I'm strong. I ain't strong. Okay? I can't carry you on my back. I don't want to carry you on my back. I am not a workhorse. I am not a mule. I don't want to be dumped on. I don't want to be mistreated. I don't want to be taken for granted. And then in the end, I'm your queen. No, thank you. Okay? No, thank you. I could get on my soapbox all day long. I can't understand when they are like, I love a black woman. They're so resilient. We were not born resilient. You grow to become resilient based on what you've gone through. And I don't want to go through nothing, honey, especially not with no man. He's like, yeah, my mom was like that. She held us down. I mean, it was days that we sold cans and, we only got $5, but it really did help. So she's complimenting him. And she was like, I'm just very excited about being closer to Samson. And girl, good luck with that struggle of moving forward. In the next scene, Shakira and Randall, they're talking, right? And so he asks how she's feeling. And she's like, it's refreshing. So in the confessional, she says she wants her trauma to be considered, but for them not to deem her powerless because of it. And so she's telling him that she didn't expect people to be okay with her being a single mom, but it's been the exact opposite. People have actually embraced her. Okay, so real quick, y'all, I have a question, and I'm being so serious. What is Shakira talking about that she has been through? Because I have watched and reviewed every single episode and I'm so confused. Is she talking about a divorce? Being a single mom? Like what? Like I feel like she is constantly going from man to man thinking he's going to be judging her for being a single mom. And I feel like it's draining. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but I just don't understand what is happening. I really don't. I understand, us single moms, we feel like, well, dang, will the man accept me and my child or me and my children? But I'm not understanding what's going on with Shakira. So Randall tells her, that any man will be lucky to have her. And I'm happy that he poured into her. I really am. And I'm happy that he made her feel comfortable because clearly there is some kind of internal struggle that's happening. From the thing that happened earlier with Katie to her feeling insecure about, having a child when she had that date with Zoe. She was like, my son is 7 and I wanted to know if people are going to accept my son. Girl, it is 2022. They will accept you and your children. Honey, Keke Wyatt, keep a man. Okay, Keke got 11 kids and been singing in the background to each and every man that she gets. You're going to be okay. Moving forward. So as the party is going on, Justice is sneaking out for work. So he's telling Jamala that he needs to go because he has a grand opening. He's like, tell Tommy I'm leaving. Sir, you saw Tommy 3 times today. You could have told him that you would be exiting stage left a little bit early. Justice does not want anybody here. It's giving me, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's what it's giving me. And I have to say this though, because I almost wanted to leave with Justice because this is the longest party in Ready to Love history. It's only so many times I can see them drop it to the flow and pick it up slow. Like, my God, this whole episode was one big white party. This was episode 1 reincarnated. I don't want to keep seeing a whole bunch of mixers. I want to see dates. I want to see separate dates and not those double, triple, quadruple dates that y'all like to do. Single dates. Moving forward. And the reason why I want to see separate dates now that I'm on that is because when we get to the reunion, we're all confused because we're like, well, we didn't see those people go, well, they never showed our date. That's because we're getting too many mixes. We don't need all these mixes. Take me to the single dates. Over on the other side, Shakira finally makes her way to Samson. So they're flirting. Honey, I'm sure he loves her and all of her struggle. Child. Anyway, in the next scene, Tommy and his wife, they meet with the ladies. And so he asks who they're feeling. And Jamala said Rara, a.k.a. Randall. Kayla said Randall. Trinika said Randall. Honey, Randall. Child, let's give it Marsha. So, anywho, they said Randall. Looney said LJ, of course. Shakira said Samson. And she said, he hasn't met her son, but when he texts her in the morning, he also acknowledges her baby. Cherie said Samson. Okay, she feeling Samson. Katie said Swayze, of course. Brandy said, of course, Mike. The people that they are not feeling. Mike, Zoe. Like I told y'all, Zoe can go. Kayla said Zoe as well. It was almost unanimous, okay, as far as Zoe was concerned, until Trinika said Swayze. Well, child, what she say that for? No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't no drama. But Trinika did say Swayze. LJ said Mike. Then Brandy said Justice. And she said, she don't believe nothing that Justice got to say. And listen, Brandy, we see each other, honey, because I don't believe nothing that Justice does or says. Nothing. So Katie said Justice as well. She said, he doesn't even want to talk on the phone. She said, I wanted to get to know him. And he's like, well, I don't talk on the phone. She's like, well, how am I going to get to know you if you don't want to talk on the phone? Okay, so let me get this straight. No date, no phone. Okay, I guess he gonna send a smoke signal or write a letter, honey, but then again, he may not want to pay for the stamp. I don't know what he's gonna do. Does he own a phone? Maybe he don't want you to DM him on Instagram. I don't know what he wants. Does he want... Child, let me keep that to myself. Don't do it. I'm not gonna do it. Don't do it. So then Tommy is like, well, what's wrong with talking on the phone? Honey, we don't know. We don't know what it is. So she was like, I don't know. You have to ask him. So Jamala goes, oh, well, you can't ask him because he had to leave for his grand opening. Tommy said, you don't leave my party early. He should have told them that he was leaving. I don't think that that was the right thing to do. When you sign up for this show, you know that there will be hours upon hours upon hours of filming. So if you had to go somewhere, I'm pretty sure that Tommy would have let you go. You should have let him know that. So Tommy comes out and he's like, we've been talking to the ladies and some of you brothers are good, but 3 of you men aren't ready to love. So then he calls Zoe, LJ, and Justice. He's like, Justice can't come to the front because he left my party early. Child, not the petty. Oh, Justice gonna pay for that. Tommy ain't playing about having no justice, no peace, honey. Baby, Tommy ain't playing about having justice there for that extra round of applause, and he ain't fooling me. So the 3 men are standing in the front, right? To be continued. Child, we gotta wait a whole nother episode to see who is eliminated. I'm thinking it may be LJ, but I'm not too sure. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. What did you think about the all-white party that never ended? What did you think about Shakira? She's a little bit fragile, aka flower child. I don't know. She's a beautiful girl. I just want her to be more secure in the dating scene. And what did y'all think about Samson saying he wanted us to struggle and he love a good struggle love? Absolutely not. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.